Hey guys, what's up? Daniel here. Today we're unboxing the OnePlus One 64GB Sandstone model, which is available for purchase for $350. Now it's available for purchase if you're able to get an invite, since that's the only way that you can actually get this phone right now. And that's kind of been a problem because the people that have been wanting this phone haven't been able to get it. And yeah, I was actually putting off this purchase for some time, but I finally got it and we're gonna do a quick unboxing and we're gonna do a review of it. So yeah, the first thing that you're gonna get is a cardboard box, which has a really nice little tab, and you pull that and that's gonna rip right through the cardboard. And then you're greeted with this really nice white box with red accents, and on the back it just says Sandstone Black, 64GB. It's a global version. And when we open that up, you're gonna get a really cool red packaging. Now you're gonna see a theme of red, white, and black throughout this, and it really looks very nice and simple. So you open that red box and you're greeted directly with the phone. The first thing that you see is OnePlus One and the phone, and it looks really cool. I mean, the phone looks clean, everything looks amazing. You can pull the phone by just pulling that little red tab right there. It pulls up the phone, you grab the phone. The phone comes with a little protector on the front, which just tells you that it uses a micro SIM. So if you have a nano SIM or anything like that, you're going to want to use a adapter, or you're going to get a new one from your wireless provider. But putting the phone off to a side, underneath the phone, you're actually going to get a SIM card tool, which comes inside a rubber casing, which you can use as a key ring. And the actual SIM card tool is made out of a very nice material, and it just looks really nice, and it's nice that it comes with that protector. I guess it's not really needed, but it just looks kind of cool. And you also get the micro USB cable, which is flat and it's red, and it just looks really good. It has this little rubber band or strap, which you can use to actually just coil the thing back up, or the cable back up, and then use that to hold it together. So it's really nice touch, and it actually is just a very nice cable. In a separate box, you're actually going to get the actual charging block so you can connect it to your wall. And I guess that just didn't fit in the phone packaging because it is a bit large, but you're not going to be carrying it everywhere, and it does still match the white and red design that you see all over the boxes in the phone's design. Now this phone is pure black. There is also a white one which doesn't have this sandstone back. Now the cool thing about the sandstone black is it kind of feels a little bit grippy, so you feel like you have a little bit better hold of the device. And yeah, as far as the actual feel of it goes, I guess it's really just how you would imagine a sandstone-y plastic to feel. It feels very nice. It doesn't feel like a cheap plastic. It feels like something that you paid a good amount of money for. So now the reason that this phone is getting a lot of traction is really the $350 price tag. And this is the 64GB version. The other version is the white one, and that's $300, and I believe that's 32GB. So I mean, for that price, that's less than half of what an iPhone 5S is, which is crazy. It might be a little bit more than what a person that normally buys phones on contract pays, but for someone like me that buys phones off contract and pays around $700 to $900 for a phone, this is an amazing price. You're getting top of the level specs. You're getting a Snapdragon 801 CPU, DDR3, 3GB of RAM, a 5.5-inch amazing 1920 by 1080 display. And it's, I mean, 5.5 inch is a little bit too big for me personally, but if you're into the big displays, you're gonna completely love this one, especially since the fact that the bezels aren't too big, and just the way that the phone is designed and the screen kind of pops out a little bit, it makes the screen not feel as big. Like, the phone isn't bulky, and it's kind of hard to explain, but the phone is just so well designed. You can see that metal bezel around, and you have this slight black bezel on the sides, but they're not really annoying. And then you have the top and bottom. What's cool about the bottom is that you can actually use on-screen buttons, or you can use the hardware capacitive buttons that you can turn on or off. Now we have a 3100 milliamp hour battery inside, and that has lasted me a good amount. The most I got it to last was about 2 days, and that's when I really didn't use it that much. That's actually when I didn't use it as my daily driver. I was just using it for fun. And then I decided to put my SIM card in with an adapter from my iPhone 5S, and I used it as my daily driver, and I got about a day or a day and a half. So basically I would use it a whole day, and then I wouldn't put it to charge overnight, and I would still have a good amount of the next day left. So I would, I could still go out somewhere and then come back home and charge it And as far as the charging speed goes, it's actually not bad. If I charge it with my computer, it takes forever. But if I charge it with the actual block that it came, it charges a lot quicker. Now compared to my iPhone 5S, I mean, it just makes the iPhone 5S battery look like a joke, because that I can't get that to last me a full day of use. We also have a 13 megapixel camera, which is not the best camera out there. Now the thing about this phone is that since it is Android, I want to tell you that this is a completely I'm not biased towards Apple or anything. I use an iPhone 5S as my daily driver, and that's just because of the design, really, and I just like the way it is. But I'm not gonna, just because I don't like parts of this phone doesn't mean, I hate Android in general. Of course, I've used all the phones, I like all the phones, and I don't have a preference over each, right? So this has a lot more things than my iPhone does, and it does a lot better than my iPhone does, but it also has a lot of things that it doesn't do better than my iPhone. So I just want to get that straight, and this is completely unbiased. And yeah, so let's keep on going. So that 13 megapixel camera I was talking about, it's not a great camera. Sometimes you'll get good pictures, other times you're going to get kind of bad pictures. So it's really going to vary depending on the lighting and just the situation that you're in. The focusing isn't that great. Sometimes it just doesn't autofocus correctly or fast enough compared to something like the Galaxy S5 or the iPhone 5S. I feel like those cameras might be a little bit better, even though I feel like my iPhone 5S camera just takes better pictures more consistently than this one does. So if you're a big photographer, obviously you're not going to be buying this phone for the camera. You're going to be buying this phone because it has an amazing screen. It has some of the best specs, so gaming on this thing is flawless. Watching media on this is amazing because that screen is just, it's almost as big as a tablet. So, I mean, this could replace a whole tablet since you're getting such a large screen for browsing the web, messaging, watching Netflix, watching YouTube videos, and everything just looks great. Now, as far as the actual software goes, I can tell you that it's awesome. It comes with CyanogenMod pre-installed, and it's normally something that people install to just make Android a little bit more customizable and a little bit more free so that you can do more things. And they've installed this perfectly so that you don't feel like you have anything else to worry about. I mean, it even comes with pre-installed Themes Showcase app, which you can use to easily change the styles, the icons, the wallpapers, fonts, boot animations, and you can make this phone your own. So I mean, if you're switching over from an iPhone, from a Galaxy, from an HTC, you can get those skins and put them onto this phone and use it like that until you get kind of, comfortable with the whole UI, with all the settings, and kind of eventually move into Android. So it's a great segue phone as well. If you've been planning to move, this is definitely a phone. If you've been considering something like the S5, which also has a large screen, this is a phone you should consider. I would highly recommend it more than the S5. I think for the price, it's just killer. And the other features that it has, it makes it that more amazing. And I think it works perfectly. I put my T-Mobile SIM card in it, and it started working. The only little things that I kind of experienced here and there was some calls not going through. And I'm not sure if that was just my network at the moment, or if it was the phone just experiencing some problems with actual calling. Now, this happened to me about 3 times over the course of 4 days, and it never happened to me with my iPhone before. So I'm not really sure what is going on there, but I'm gonna let it slide, and it was probably T-Mobile acting up. But I just thought I would point that out. So if you experience this when you get it, it's probably the phone and it's not your network. If you don't experience this, then it's my network, not the phone. I'm used to kind of pulling out my iPhone out of my pocket, and I'm sure a lot of people are as well. And you kind of just pull it out, check email, check Twitter, and then put it back in your pocket, which is a really bad habit. Yeah, that's not really possible. I don't feel as compelled, or I didn't really find myself doing it as much with this phone because I feel like it's such a hassle to actually pull this thing out of your pocket and use it in a quick moment. So I feel like I reserved using the phone until I was at a place where I could comfortably use the phone without having any problems. Because this phone, while you're trying to move around with one hand, if you have smaller hands than me and you try to kind of move your hand around the phone, there's a possibility you might drop it because you might lose grip on it. And that's obviously not a problem with the OnePlus One itself. It's just a problem with bigger phones and whether or not you're going to be able to actually handle that. So I mean, my personal favorite is around the size of a Nexus 5 or a Moto X. The 4-inch screen on my iPhone 5s I'm not a fan of. It's a little bit too small. So I mean, my iPhone 5s is too small, and then this one's too big, but I would prefer the smaller screen on my iPhone 5s. I've enjoyed using the phone. Again, the only gripe is the screen, and that's not even the phone's problem. It's just, in general, any phone that's that big, I'm just not a big fan of. If I did more media consumption, as far as watching more Netflix, I normally watch Netflix on a tablet or just on my TV. But if I did more media consumption and I was on the go all the time and I didn't have space to carry an iPad or something like that, I would of course use this. Alright guys, so I didn't upload this video back in August when it was supposed to be uploaded, so that means I couldn't compare it to the iPhone 6, which came out in September. So I wanted to just tell you guys that what I say in this video still holds true. The phone is an amazing performer, and it still holds up to the new phones that have come out towards the beginning or the end of 2014 and beginning of 2015. Everything that you do on it is super smooth, and it's one of the best Android phones out there. It's not that much bigger in footprint against the iPhone 6, even though there's a big screen size difference. And I do feel that this is a little bit better to hold than the iPhone 6 Plus. But yeah, if you guys have any more specific questions about this against other phones, feel free to contact me. Aside from that, I'm just going to continue with this video. So in the end, is it a cool phone? Yes. Do I recommend it? Yes. If you like screens that are larger than 5 inches, around 5.5. So if you've used other screens that are this size and you said, that's the screen size for me, I like this screen, I just want a phone that's good, then you're going to love this phone, especially at this price tag. And the fact that you don't, it's your phone when you buy it. It's not subsidized. You don't have to pay a monthly fee for it. You buy it and then you put whatever plan you want onto this device. You can put an AT&T SIM, you can put a T-Mobile SIM, whatever you want. So yeah guys, that's it for this video. I just wanted to make a quick video on the OnePlus One because so many people were talking about it that I wanted to just use it and see what all the hype was about. But yeah, thanks to OnePlus One for giving me an invite to purchase the phone. If you have any questions about this, feel free to message me and I'll get back to you as soon as I can, as I always do. And make sure to stay tuned for future videos. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Goodbye.